Welcome to the second in our Wednesday series of Lenten meditations from Trinity Church. Last Wednesday, we looked briefly at an overview of what is known as the fourth servant song in the Old Testament book of Isaiah. Today, we'll begin to look more carefully at this song as it unfolds. The first few verses reveal who this servant is. He is my servant. And since Isaiah is speaking for God, that's what the biblical prophets did, then this is God's servant. And this servant of God is to be a visible demonstration of God's wisdom. Behold, my servant shall act wisely. And in the often mysterious wisdom of God, there is a picture offered of the culmination of God's plan of salvation. The order of events is reversed from how they eventually occur, but there is no mistaking what the events will involve. My servant shall be high and lifted up, and shall be exalted. It's like one of those moments that may have happened to you when someone says to you, I've got good news and I've got bad news. When given a choice, we often want to hear the bad news first so that we can be lifted up out of our shock and disbelief into the good news. But here we're given the end, so to speak, the good news, and then we're given the means to the end. What appears to be bad news. After hearing of the exaltation of the servant, which is the good news, we're told the bad news. His appearance was so marred beyond human semblance, and his form beyond that of the children of mankind. In God's wisdom, what appears to be bad news is actually good news for sinners. It will be the humiliation of the cross of Christ that will enable sinners to be declared righteous before a holy God. The broad and inclusive nature of this redeeming work is made clear. So shall he sprinkle many nations. The sprinkling or the shedding of blood, Christ's blood, will be the sacrifice required so that a sinner, any sinner, will be able to stand before a holy God without condemnation. This is truly astonishing. And as we shall see, this astonishing act of grace was very costly for Jesus and of eternal benefit for sinners. Next Wednesday, we will begin to be reminded of the brutal nature of and the essential need for the way of the cross.